After some uneventful days, Itrix arrived home excited by some news he just heard on the streets. It is about some hidden treasure in an abandoned ruin near the village where others were before Sarton. They expected chaos creatures, as usual they could say. Charles and Kendra stayed at the guild house this time, and the others took the road to Sarton. Right before arriving to the village, they discovered a narrow path leading to the forest. Hello, welcome back on this video, and I hope you enjoyed this short hook because that's how they ended up in a forest finding almost nothing. So you could already see that the guild had many adventures through many pages, and how it continued. Itrix heard this false rumor, and I really like how the dice went and the dice rolling went and built up this small foresty area. Because they found the path. First, corridor, we can call it a corridor. No need to heal, despite they found a bountiful game. Okay, let's move on. And as we went through the forest, through the 6 rooms, the 6 areas, I already knew that it is a false rumor and there will be no treasure at the end, but many empty clearings, just a few fights, and found only a bit of treasure on the 6th room as a loot after fighting with a creature. So it was very interesting with many empty and nothing to do places, which led us to a false rumor. So it was just a very short story in between some campaigns, but it was very exciting. And the main reason I played this was to try out how to draw the overland mapping in a foresty area. I've already told about this in the overland options video before, so you can check the details and which supplement you can use drawing like this. You can see it contains not just trees and areas, but waters, rivers, bridges, some cabins, so you can have a very detailed and very variable map. So it was just a short thing before doing another short quest. It was very interesting, and it is from the Tales from the Adventurers Guild, that they had to find some eggs, if I remember, yes. So they had to climb up to the hills, they had to look for it, and they had to descend. So it's just one page and some abstract battles, but it was again very interesting and something not the usual dungeon discovering. So after this, again, another short story. I remember this was a time when I played these that I just have a few hours from time to time, and I didn't want to start the whole campaign because I knew that maybe there will be days or weeks I cannot play, and I didn't want to forget about where I was. So it's again another shorter story, but it's delving deeper and deeper. So it was Caverns of Chaos again because it was easy to use, honestly, and after the entrance level they went deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, and after the 3rd level I had to came out because of health and injury issues. And I don't know what happened here. I remember flipping the page to start something new, and I was already writing these sentences when I realized that nothing is here, and I could see what's on the previous page, and I just don't know what happened here. My idea is, you could already hear about my characters and where they are come from, the Fishmonger's Eyes, and I digitally made a map, which is time to show you. So this is the map of the Fishmonger's Eyes. And with the help of AI, I made some characters and character pictures for the 8 core. You can see here only the 8 core characters of the guild. I haven't printed out the other ones yet. So I have these pictures, and originally I thought that I will glue it when they were introduced in the beginning to the back of the pages. But now I had this unfortunate event, I missed some pages empty, so I think this will be the place where I will glue and I will implement all the illustrations for the guild. And what happened after this, it was a very interesting thing, and this is what I want to talk about more, because we are already in the fall season, and Drem, Tiana, Nim, and Mita traveled east with the explorers. They've met with another guild, the Explorers Guild, whose target is to map all the unknown lands and the waters of the world. And they found a very interesting land. They call it the Grave Reef because they sent one explorers team to the land and they've never returned. So they reached out the Guild of Canspackle because they heard about the heroic adventures of the guild and asked them to help and map what is inland and how this in unknown land looks like. They arrived, and on the first day I rolled for inclement weather, so they stayed at the port, and on the next day finally they could start mapping this unknown land. And on the overland options video, I already mentioned how we can combine the different supplements. I used Alexei Aparin's first version of overland adventures. It was the Pocketland before the cards even existed. So you can find it here and there on the internet. If you are not sure where to look for, go to the Facebook group For Against Darkness Adventurers Guild, and you can find it there also. So how I did it, I drew the outline of the land, the Grave Reef, and then moved from section by section, and I signed the route of the guild with these dots. The bigger dots is 1 hour, the smaller dots is just showing the path. And this is where they were landed, and they started a whole journey through days, through weeks. It was almost 2 weeks in-game time to explore the whole island. And it had a very interesting story. And step by step, I had a lore, to be honest. Because after the port, on the second day, when finally they could start exploring, they found a keep. And it was a very interesting place because it was an undead place. This was the time when I started to use the Digression of Devouring Dead, DDD supplement. The abbreviations are much easier to say. So it was an undead keep. The party didn't know what happened there before, why it was the Fortress of the Undead, as they named it later. It has a mysterious story. But when they moved to north, they found a strange tower. But it wasn't a full tower, it was a tower of wizardry in ruins. And then they could build up a story that there was an accident, an explosion, a magical explosion in the Tower of Wizardry, which caused the whole neighborhood going swampy, and the living people, the living ones, was moving away from these lands, and only the undead the undead creatures were still here. And then as they moved to north again, exploring the unknown lands, they found a fallen temple. And the fallen temple was again full with undead. And I created a story that the explosion was so huge that those who were living in the keep, or those who were working and living in the temple before, they had to move away. Some of them turned undead. That's the creatures the party met, and some of them could escape from these lands. And when I finally met with some living people, it was only a hunter. And how I combined the different drawing methods. First of all, I decided which parts, which kind of terrains will be the ones I want to explore more. For example, wastelands, grasslands are not really eventful. You can see huge distances, you can be prepared for anything, so it's not so exciting. But I decided that when I will arrive to a foresty area, I will use the overland options foresty mapping style, like this. I will use the more mountainous mayhem when I will go to mountain areas. I can use the uncharted settlement when I will meet some people or I have to build a settlement. And in the meantime, I can still choose some other supplements to use. So first of all, I was deciding what to use and how to go deeper and deeper. And of course, when I found dungeons, I built up the dungeons based on the rules. And then, when I met the hunter, he immediately had a quest for the team: help killing a beast only appearing at night. So it was in the morning, and I had a whole day to do something before night arrives and we can join the hunt. So I rolled the mountain area here for A6 sector, and I decided that, okay, I will spend the day exploring the mountains. And that's how it looked like. I knew that it is just a smaller area of the world, of the whole land, so I couldn't draw a whole page, or I didn't want to draw a whole page, just a few areas to explore while we are waiting for night arrives. So I started here at the hunter's camp, and just 8 sectors I moved through, but it was interesting doing something while waiting for the hunt and interesting encounters. This was the first time when I used the More Mountainous Mayhem supplement. So that's how I played the whole exploring campaign. When I've met dungeons, I played the dungeons. When I arrived to areas like forests or mountains, I played these areas. And honestly, not all the areas, but when I had something interesting area or something just to explore a bit further or a bit deeper, I just chose to do this. And when I arrived to this village, I used again the uncharted settlement I've told before, and I mapped a 6-sector small village, and we can have some quests around the village. For example, explore the caves by the shores, or the cellar of the inn. The innkeeper gave us a quest to clear his cellar. So that's how it looked like. It was the D3, C3 sector and the moving between. Yes, here I found the road, the team found the road and moved along the road, and I knew that it's a foresty area, it's a road in the forest, crossing the forest. So I was curious what encounters they can have along the road, and that's how it went. It's another mountain area in another layout because it was where it was. C2. Yeah, here it was. That's how I moved to north along the mountains. So this is the whole story, and here you can find some very, very small areas because I didn't want my party to be bored through the journey. And I'm just looking for the end of this campaign because now you can see it's big, it's huge. This was a bigger map because there was the time when I started to trek back, so I only needed to find out what's here in the mountains and what's here through the swamps, between the swamps and the coast. So for this part, E2, D2, yeah, about this, I drew a coastline and rolled for the mountains. And it makes sense that they didn't want to explore all the bits of the map, but just as they moved to south, they explored some of the coastal mountains. So that's how it went, and yes, here is the end of the story. Meanwhile, at home, we will see what happened there. I just wanted to show you that this is a huge campaign, and you can play it with a very fresh new party. I implemented it to my guild story because I already had it, but just to see, this is only one campaign. So if you have only one notebook or you want to do something with your guild as a bigger thing, not just random dungeons, you can do this. You can have an unknown land and you can fill it with many things, with many different dungeons, many different adventures inside the lands, underground, overland. And as you have the supplements, you can implement them too. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope I could inspire you for your next campaign. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And of course, I still have empty sheets on this notebook, so the story of the guild continues. And as you can see, I'm over the half of this book, but still many pages to fill with many interesting adventures. I hope you like it. Enjoy your game.